everyone, it's Jess, and we are here to spend a day indoors talking about Survivor 49, Episode 4, Tribe Swap Baby, or as Jeff wants to call it, a Tribe Switch. Who calls it that? Not me. Tribe Swap. Thank you. Get it right, Jeff. But yeah, we're here to talk about Episode 4. Yeah, we get, obviously, the big main event is our Tribe Swap Immunity Challenge. Beware advantages becoming idols. Ooh, and a vote. There's another one, y'all. So, let's get into it. I've still left it our old tribes because we start off. It's still bad news bears. God, Sophie and Alex. Let me tell you something. This episode was truly like a lot better for them. Obviously, because they're not, in hell anymore. I mean, tribe swap always good for them. So, before we even get to tribe swap, these poor bastards. Why they slept on the beach after one of their teammates gets medevaced for a bite from a venomous sea snake is beyond me. But they sleep on the beach. They're getting the water comes up high enough to hit them. Their boat's going away. Sophie loses a shoe in the water. They're like half drenched. I'm like, these poor bastards. Good grief. Give them a break. No breaks for Kella. Unless we get this little thing called a tribe swap. And oh boy, we get it. So, let's say bon voyage to our 3 tribes. Because 2 tribes, baby, let's fucking go. 2 tribes. We're killing it. Goodbye, Uli. See you never. We're down now 2 tribes of 7. Hina and Kele. Period. This graphic. I don't know what to do with the old people. I don't want to like fully take them off. So they're in purgatory in the middle. The 4 Keles are just in purgatory. That's where they're gonna be. Now, obviously, interesting groupings for the tribes here. We have perfectly for both tribes ended in a 4-2-1 split. Obviously, with 4 Uli, 2 Hina, and 1 Kele, now making up new Hina, and 4 of the old Hina, 2 Uli, and 1 Kele, making up new Kele. Now, I think it would have been a little more interesting if they had ended in it was like a 3-3-1 split. I think that definitely would have made things a little more dynamic in terms of tribal, because it's an even split. They would have to really be more like a toss-up, because it really would have decided on that whoever person from Kele they got. Because with the 4-2-1, it's like it's like you look at it and you're like, okay, I see how this is going to go. Especially with the current Beware advantages one Beware advantage, one now idle, thanks to Rizzo finding his Beware advantage this episode. They both lie in the hands of the people who are in the majority group. And Alex already used his, which he probably shouldn't have, because that definitely would have probably benefited him more now, obviously. My thing is, I think the new Hina tribe is a lot more of a lock. I think if they, clearly, the 4 stuck together, they have pulled in Sophie very quickly, and they got Matt out. I think if they go to tribal again, they'll just get rid of Jason, and they'll go from there. The new Kele, honestly, I think they could still just take out either Sage or Shannon or Alex. They don't seem as bonded to Alex as the Uli 4 are to Sophie there. But there is, I think there's a little room. Well, because Shannon is connecting with Christina a lot. She's kind of connecting with MC, but Sage is also has an opportunity with Steven, I would say, because he seems to like her more than Shannon, and Sage is starting to get kind of sick of Shannon. So, I think there's a little more wiggle room with Kella, but I guess maybe they could just take out Alex. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, definitely would have been more interesting if it was like the 3-3-1 split. That would have been like, that could go anywhere. But these are the tribes we got. Now, it was very funny, the tribe swap. Poor Alex and Sophie are just like throwing, everybody's like, oh, a tribe swap, and Alex and Sophie are like, yeah, they're throwing their buffs on the floor, they're stomping on the ground, they're burying the dirt, and they're like, fuck Kella, get that shit out of here. And then Alex is like, Kella again. And they do like the tribe that's won the most. They're like, have or have not, man. Tribe with the most or tribe with literally nothing. Because Hina's gotten first place in all past 3 immunity challenges. So they have the hammocks, they have the fishing gear, they have the camp gear toolkit set. Kel don't even got flint. They still don't got flint. Well, now they do. Now they do. At that point, nothing. We're out, and when they go to their new camps. Alex is like, yes, I ate 1 coconut this whole week. Jeremiah was eating worms. We ate worms for a bit. We got nothing. And the other ones are like, we are in, what the hell is this? And Hina's like a 5-star hotel. They got the hammocks. They got fire. They got food. They were like, Sophie as who actually gets screen time this episode for the first time in who knows how long. She's like, oh my god, we've been eating like crabs and snails, and we've been eating good, and now we've got dirt. We've got nothing. No way to cook food. No way to catch food. It's just pure vibes you have to survive off of. Vibes and coconuts. So, these are our new tribes. Now, interesting dynamics here, especially with this Uli group in Hina, because this is 3/4 of the alliance that they had made, their 4 alliance, and they were planning on getting Jawan out, but now he's in because they need him. They can't lose him to the other side. Hello. That's not good for them. That's, again, bad news bears for these people. And Shannon now, obviously, is on Kella with Sage, who was not in the alliance. But they're I don't know. I don't know how Shannon sees Sage, but Sage is like, on Shannon now that they're on their new tribe. But we will get into that. So, to start with, let's start with Hina. New Hina. Not old Hina. New Hina. They are definitely still sticking by the tribe lines. Obviously, it's pretty clear. Especially with, like, Rizzo and Savannah, they're like, no Hinas. No. Like, because there was a war brewing, as they've been saying the past episode or 2. There's a war brewing between Hina and Uli. But now they're on the same tribe. War's smaller war. Battle, I guess. Sophie, smart, realizes, listen, I could try, maybe with Jason and Matt, but, listen, Uli got the numbers. I'm going to Uli. And, thank God she does, because she bonds really fast with them, especially with Savannah and Nate. She, locks shit in quick. Especially, if you're looking at this, you could see the gender dynamics of each tribe. It's crazy how each tribe has somehow become a majority. Like, Hina is 5 men, 2 women. Kella is 5 women, 2 men. So Sophie and Savannah were able to bond very quickly, being the only women on the tribe. And Sophie's just really good with connecting with people, so she got herself locked in with that Uli for fast. And I think that's really good for her because it's easy. It's very easy to be like, we could just pick her off, or it's like you're like a deciding factor, but you're also like not, because the groups you're split between aren't even. It would matter a lot more if it was like a 3-3. But with a 4-2, it's like she could be pulled in by Jason and that, but they still wouldn't have the numbers unless the 4 split their votes. Which, is possible. They did it today. At Tribal that day, Hina split their votes. They did some on Matt, some on Jason. Anything can happen, truly. But definitely would have been more in that middle spot with 3-3. But Sophie got a good spot right now. Literally, I think she's good. Honestly, I think even if let's say they lose Tribal, they lose Jason, and they lose another Tribal after that, and what? It's just the 4, Uli and Sophie. I think they would probably get rid of Jawan over her, because Jawan was already on the outs in the Uli, and they really like Sophie. So they might just cut Jawan for Sophie. That wouldn't shock me in the slightest, honestly. I could definitely see that happening. Especially now that Rizzo has his idol, a full idol. Yeah, I think they would definitely, they have the advantages there. So I think they may just cut Jawan as well if they lose to get Jason out and then lose again. And they would go into merge as a 4. That would be interesting, though. I don't know, because then people would be looking like, wow, they got rid of their own tribe member over Sophie. I don't know if they'll put a target on Sophie. I have no idea. But yeah, that would be interesting. That would definitely be interesting. Now, Kele is a little more interesting. Alex is like, I don't care where I go. Somebody take me. Please. Sophie wanted to go with the majority. Alex is like, I don't care. Please take me. Somebody. Anybody. And then, of course, Shannon. Has to be a guru. Has to do yoga in the morning. Steven is like, why are we doing this? And Sage... Well, I guess we can get into it. Sage is not vibing with Shannon anymore, especially now since they're now in this new tribe. Shannon has definitely become, you can see it in the end as well, very religion coded now. All about Christianity, the Lord, faith. Sage is like, that's cool, but can we come up with something else? She even says it. She's like, this feels performative. Because Christina, MC, I don't know if Sophie is religious. I don't know if or Steven and Alex are either, but definitely Christina, and it seems like MC as well, because she seemed a bit receptive to it. So did Sophie as well. But definitely Christina. I think they all are seemingly religious. And Shannon is like, religion, bond, give. And Sage is clocking it and realizing, all of a sudden, all she wants to do is talk about the Lord. Where'd that come from? And we know from her previous interview where she talked about her AI Jesus guru chatbot. She should tell them about it. I remember the Facebook, like, yeah, my AI Jesus chatbot told me once that I'd be like, they don't bring that up. Can you tell? But I do see Sage's point, because she has they have so many scenes throughout this episode. They have a whole montage of religion from Shannon, and Sage is like, do you, but it's kind of weird. Because it's coming out of nowhere, because she didn't really, at least previously, they haven't shown her talking about it much, and Sage says, she didn't really bring us up at I guess maybe Uli is not as religious. The old Uli wasn't, but now she's like, This is like, I don't want to keep talking. I don't want to. I always bring up Big Brother, I feel. But it's giving. It's giving BB-27 and the constant mentions of the Lord. And I'm like, okay. I mean, do you? But, as somebody once said, I don't think God has a vested interest in Survivor. So, take that as you will. I guess it's a strategy, to build connections. And she does build, Shannon does build a pretty strong connection with Christina this episode. Especially, they discuss Christina and her mother, who unfortunately passed, I believe several years ago. So they do form a strong connection over that. Which, by the way, the whole moment was, oh my god. I literally about to cry. It's so sad, but also not beautiful, but touching in a way you could tell the love that she had for her mom. It was very sad, but also very heartwarming in a way. So I'm glad they included that as well, not just oh, she bonded with Shannon over that, as a true side of Christina with her family, and you could just see she was so emotional, and it felt like a very natural moment, and I'm glad they put that in. I think that was a really, really powerful moment to put in, and I really appreciate them for putting that in. But aside from that, definitely Shannon and Christina were bonded over that. No, I do say it's quite funny that Shannon was talking I wanted to work with mom in this game. My best friend is a mom, and I'm like, okay, cool, sure, whatever. That's Shannon. Shannon's gonna be Shannon. I don't know. But yeah. They also are, New Kele is also really glad that they were expecting to come into a war zone, and they were like, okay, it's not bad. Although, even though somebody had their underwear pinned to a tree, who did that? Who left your underwear pinned to a tree? Please get a grip. Collect your drawers. Thank you. Now, bouncing back to New Hina. Obviously, the Uli 4 are really trying to get a read on Jason and Matt and where their minds are at. Now, Jason keeps being he's oh, I love my old tribe, Hina. I love them. They're all wonderful people. I love them. And Savannah's you're doing too much. What do you mean you like them? They're not our tribe anymore. They're not your tribe anymore. Welcome. You need to worry about us. We're your tribe. You need to care about us now, not them. And I get it. You can't be oh my god, because that's a problem. Obviously not right now. They're on different tribes, but once they hit merge, you don't want somebody who's yes, I love my old tribe, love them, because then they're gonna work with them when you get to merge. So that's a problem. So I get why Savannah is immediately don't like that. And Matt is just, I don't know, he's Matt. Matt. He said he's gonna keep it a secret. He tells everybody he worked in finance. And Savannah is immediately how can I spin this to make him a diabolical human being? She said all people who are high up in finance and the business world are psychopaths. And you know what? Period. You gotta be crazy to get that high. You gotta be. I'm trying to say this politely. It's like how they say, billionaires can't be billionaires without exploitation. It's no, I guess, I don't know. To be fair, I don't know much about the corporate world. Bitch, I work in a call center. I don't know. I don't know the hierarchy, so maybe I should just shut up. So yeah, Matt tells them he worked in finance for many years. high up in finance. And he, like, said it, like, in a way that was, he's like, oh, I wasn't gonna tell you guys, but since you asked, I didn't want to be like, no. And it's like, you should have just been like, oh, I didn't get a chance to tell you. They'll be like, I was gonna keep this a secret from you guys, but I decided to tell you. Don't do that. I don't think that clearly did not work in his favor at all. Just, it's like the way you say it, you know? You could be like, yeah, I worked in finance, or just fucking should have lied. You could have been like, no, I worked at a fucking Kroger. Lie, bitch, lie. You didn't need to be honest. Or you could have been like, I don't know, I was a mailman. I was something. Just lie. Lie. If you were gonna keep it a secret, should have just lied. And then he didn't. And then he told them, and he went home. Because Savannah spun it to be like, he's a problem. He's a cutthroat businessman. I was bitch. Okay. But, yeah. He could have easily lied. You could have been like, I was a manager at a Trader Joe's. I don't know. Like, and I mowed the lawn at a Mormon church. He's from Utah. Like, what are they going to do? They're not going to be like, pull out your resume? Can I see your Indeed page? No. Can I see your LinkedIn? No. Lie. Just lie. If you're committed to lying, just stick with it. But he doesn't. And look how well that goes. But yeah. Now. Getting into immunity. Of course, the first time this season, there's no puzzle at the end. I'm like, of course. I think this one, Kele could have finally won because they wouldn't have had to put together a puzzle that they were absolutely shit at. And clearly, because new Kele wins. So the spirit of old Kele hit them. Now, I really enjoyed this challenge. It wasn't, they were doing the boat pull, but it wasn't like, remember in 42, when Jonathan Young was like dragging Marianne like through the water as he's like pulling his boat and she's like halfway behind it, attached to it, because he's just like deranged. This one, they were pulling the boat, they had them harnessed, but they weren't even in that deep. They were like the shallow edge. Like when they did it, I'm referencing 42 because it's like the most fresh one in my mind. They were like fully in the water, like swimming. This one, they were kind of like in the shallow, like the shore still. So they were kind of like walking it. Though Alex almost gets dragged because they have to cross. The tribes have to cross paths to get to their platforms to get the boxes for the end bit. And instead of going behind, he tries to cut through like between the people in the boat and just hits like the harness. And I'm like, oh my god, Alex, what are we doing? Go around, please. And then like they're getting their like harnesses like stuck under the freaking boat when they get to the sand. So they're like pinned in the sand. I'm like, oh my god, move! I'm like, move. Let me tell you something. The beginning part of this challenge, I wasn't stressed. I was watching it chill. They're pulling the boat. They're collecting the blocks from the platforms. Once they hit the sand, I'm sweating a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, not sweating. I'm like, Especially when they get to the balancing portion. Let me tell you something. I can't believe they had MC as an alternate. They are crazy. She killed that shit. She went across that beam with 5 boxes out to here. No sweat. Just did it. Matt could barely do that shit. It took him, I don't even know how many tries just to get the first set of boxes around. Like, MC was already moving on, and Kele was already doing the group portion with the beams, with the boxes on the beam that they had to move the rope through. I'm bad at explaining this. 2 balance beams. They have the little thing here that they're hanging on the edge by ropes to carry through as they walk over the beams. I'm bad at it. You watched the episode, you already know. But yeah, they were definitely ahead. Matt, finally figured it out. He kept falling though. Good grief. Good grief, Matt. I don't know why they picked him. I think maybe they should have did somebody. I don't know. I don't know everybody's athletic capabilities here. But he does it eventually. So now they're all moving slow as can be. And I'm like, okay, pick up the pace. And when they get to that block stacking section, I was sweating. Not even because of, like, who's gonna win. I was fully expecting somebody to fall. Because they had stacked those blocks high. You know, they had the big blocks first and then the smaller blocks at the very top. That shit was probably, like, what, 10 feet tall? More than that, probably. It had to have been, like, maybe, like, a 10-foot tall. It was crazy. Because these people, especially, when, oh my god, when Kella had Shannon up like like the cheer lift, I was like, she's gonna fall fucking face first. I fully thought she was gonna fall right into their tower and just eat shit and, like, I don't know, break an arm. I was like, she's going down hard. I was sweating. Oh my god. They all, the lifting on the shoulders. I don't know why. Was it Savannah on Nate I'm like, why would you know Savannah? I know they wanted probably to do like Savannah, or maybe even Sophia's Luck because they're shorter. Not because they're short, they're lighter. They're not as heavy as like, I don't know, the guys, because they're like what, 4, 5, barely, maybe 5 feet. They're small, but also they're small. They can't reach. Nate is very tall, but you know, I'm short. You can't reach the side. Also depends on like, since they were sitting on his shoulders, it also depends like the length of your torso, because if you had a longer torso, you sit up, you're up a little higher, you can reach a little better. You know, shorter torso, you're gonna be down more if your legs are longer than your or even if you have like your arm length. How long are your arms? Do you have a big wingspan, a short wingspan? Can you reach high? You know, everything matters. So Savannah was not anyways. And try with Rizzo, and like they can't even get off the ground with Rizzo, so they have to like help him lift Rizzo up. And Rizzo's not even fully tall enough to get all the blocks on. He can get some of them on, but not all of them. Oh my god, Kella was stressing me out. When they were standing, they had Alex on all fours on the ground. MC is standing on his back with, was it Shannon on her shoulders? I'm like, they're gonna snap Alex's back in half. I'm like, they're gonna kill this man. I'm like, I don't know how he hasn't collapsed. He literally was like, I'm like, they're gonna crush his spine. I don't know. And when they started cheerlifting, oh my god, I literally was like, I can't. I was so stressed. I was also worried about who was gonna win. I'm like, I don't even know. I'm like, I didn't know who I wanted to win, but I was like, oh my god, it was crazy. I'm glad they switched from, you know, trying to cheerlift Shannon to cheerlifting MC, because obviously MC's very tall, so that's, you know, the height benefit there. And they got her up, no problem. So obviously, Kella won that. Oh my god, I didn't even talk about the reward. More screen time for Sophie S. A whole tray of fruit. When Jeff asked, like, wow, guys, what a great reward, Sophie, your thought? And she's like, the fuck is this? Where's my burger? She's like, I want carbs. I want protein. I don't want this fruit. She's like, this is diet food. Give me food. I want food. I don't want a watermelon. I don't want a banana. Food. And everybody else is behind her like, I actually would like the fruit, thank you. It was something like, you know, we love Sophie so much, but actually we would like the fruit very much. Thank you. We are quite hungry. Especially Kella, who has nothing. I'm like, girl, pick your hills. Pick your battles. I just take the fruit. I'd be like, I love fruit. I do love fruit. At that point, what was it? It's that or coconuts and worms. So, fruit. Fruit works for me. You can get the Applebee's in the individual immunity challenges. Wait till then, you can get all the burgers and shit you want. Right now, you get fruit. It's fruit. Especially for Kella, fruit, nothing. No, they have their foot now. That helps. Though they don't have a way to catch fish. Unless you go grab it with your hands. Which, good luck. But, you know, it's fine. Now, pretty much, they don't even go back to Kella after tribal. They're like, who fucking cares? Like, who cares about those losers? It's all Hina. Now, this tribal council, looking at the tribal, you could tell it was between Jason or Matt. And let me tell you something, neither of them were helping their own cases. Truly, not at all. I'm like, do you want to go home? Because you're not helping. Personally, I also would have voted out Matt or Jason. Mostly because Jason is so good at those goddamn puzzles. I absolutely would have kept them just for that. I mean, obviously this challenge didn't have a puzzle, but he's such an asset with those. Like, I would keep him for sure. And then you could cut him at Merge, or Mergatory if they do it this year. Like, the season, excuse me. But I definitely would have kept him over Matt for sure. So I think they definitely made, like, a right choice there. Yeah, it came pretty obvious, though, that it was between Jason and Matt. Especially because, you know it's locked in when Rizzo told Sophie about his Beware Advantage. I mean, she had to be like, oh, well, you have to go find it now that you've lost. Because obviously, he doesn't know that Alex at Kella already got it and used it. She told... Who did she tell? I wrote it down. It was either Nate or Savannah. It was Savannah. She told Savannah about Alex's idol. Savannah did not tell anybody else, I don't believe. But yeah, Rizzo... Let me tell you something. Rizzo's was so much easier to find than Alex's. Alex had to carry on that fucking ball and chain around the game to find it. Rizzo's was in the water, and he had a regular key. I was like, oh. Maybe they thought he would drown, and, like, would it pull you under? A ball and chain. If you were carrying them around your neck, you trip, and then whoomp, you're face down in the water with a fucking, like, 80-pound metal chain around your neck. That might probably be a problem. But yeah, his was literally just like buy some rocks in a chest in the water, and he's just like, and he dug it out. And he's like, my idol, and I'm like, oh, okay. That was so much easier, I think. But yeah, the man, the myth, the legend, RIZGOD, Rizgod, baby, he got his idol. That's fine with me because I'm Team Rizgod. Period. Honestly, I love most of the Ulis, so remember me? Now, Jason and Matt. Interesting strategies all around. Jason. I don't even know where to begin with Jason. He is like, it's like Go Girl Give Us Nothing with the, he was like, they were like talking to him and he's like, yeah, I don't know, like he won't really like decide like where his vote's gonna lie. He's not really giving anybody like a straight answer. And then he decides to just like, they're like, are you willing to vote Matt? And he's like, well, actually, I think I might play my shot in the dark. Why would you say that? Just say, yes, I will vote Matt. Simple. Easy. Done. He's like, well, he's like, well, actually, I can't vote Matt because I'm playing my shot in the dark. And I'm like, I guess that's a strat. Not a strategy I would have personally picked. just say I'm voting for Matt because clearly it's him or you, bud, and it's not gonna be you, so it better be him. I don't even think he tried to pitch Sophie. Matt did try to pitch Sophie's name. He also tried to pitch Nate, which is crazy. He said, Jawan, I feel like you're on the outs of this Uli tribe. So how about me, you, Jason, and Sophie, we link up, we take out Nate. Joan's like, wow, what a great idea. Of course. And then he immediately runs that shit right back to them. And Nate was like, fuck that guy. Like, why on earth would you see this tribe before that has, like your former tribe, had the past 6 days to bond and lock in. And you're like, what if day 1, I guess technically day 2, what if I try to pull one away and vote the other out? Do you think that's really gonna work? Do you really think maybe if Jawan knew of that 4-person alliance that he wasn't in, maybe you could have swayed him? But like, Jawan was getting the vibe with Sage that he was on the outs, but he didn't know for sure. And now obviously they've pulled him in since they're in a new tribe and they need him as a number. If I think maybe he could have been more swayed with that. But then, even then, I don't think Sophie would have been, so it still wouldn't have worked. So, especially with Rizzo having the idol, yeah, it would not have worked. Maybe if he hadn't found it, he wouldn't have had his vote. Maybe they could have did something, but even then, they would have probably tied it. So, I don't know. But yeah. And then Matt is just like, anybody but me. Even though he keeps talking shit about Sandra. I'm like, get a grip. He's like, I hate the way Sandra played, but I sound like Sandra, anybody but me. And I'm like, motherfucker, I'll kick your ass. Don't talk about Sandra Diaz Twine. How dare you? Get off of... Even at Tribal. He says it again at Tribal. And Jeff was like, well, it worked twice for her. And I'm like, get him, Jeff. You tell him, Jeff. You tell him. It did. It worked twice. So, yeah. These people did not have the best strategies of trying to pitch themselves. It truly was like, I don't even think their words mattered really at all. Because they just like, it truly was like, go give us nothing. Like, they were just like pulling shit out of their ass, and it was just like not. But I do understand, like, there's not much room that they have with the 4 Uli locked in like they are, and them. Though Matt didn't realize they pulled in Sophie. I don't know if Jason had realized that, but Matt was shocked when they were like, at Tribal openly like, we pulled in Sophie. We love Sophie. Sophie! And he's like, oh, you did? That's news to me. And, oh my god, this was so interesting to me at Tribal. I don't know, I'm assuming that they deliberately planned the seating like this. But it was so interesting to me. They had... I kind of put it down on my notebook, but I can't really hold it up because it's gonna go. I charged it out. They had, they have, the 3 in the back row, the 4 in the front row for the 7. On this side, Jason, Matt. On the outs. And then the Uli tribe, say this is Sophie. My mic is Sophie. Literally, 1, 2, 3, 4. They had them all around Sophie in the middle. And that was so interesting, because that literally was the tribe dynamic. Hina on the outs, the Ulis who have brought Sophie into their middle. And I saw that and I was like, that's so interesting. They probably did that on purpose. And everyone's probably watching, yeah, no shit, dude. They probably did that on purpose. I just thought it was so interesting. I'm like, that's literally their dynamic, visually displayed right there. Jason and Matt on the outs on the edge there. Uli all around the edge. Sophie right in the middle, protected by them. And I think that was very, very interesting. I really liked that. I was like, oh, wow. But yeah, Tribal was pretty much a toss-up, in my opinion. I feel like it could have gone either way. Because, I mean, I don't know. Matt was saying more names. Jason was really giving nothing. I don't even know did Jason even pitch a name? Though, Rizzo and Savannah did want Jason out over Matt because they thought he was a smarter, better player. But, hold on, I'm trying to see if Jason, I don't remember if Jason said any names. Obviously, Matt said Sophie and Nate, but I don't remember if Jason said anything. Sorry, this is me reading my notes here. I don't believe he did. No, I really don't think he did. No, not that I have here. No, he just said he was gonna play a shot in the fucking dark. Dumb. No name given. Just should have said Matt. Just should have said I'm gonna vote on Matt. But yeah, they vote on Matt. No, and the vote was a bit of a mix. I wonder if they did vote just in case of a shot in the dark. Because, I mean, Matt voted for Nate. Good luck, Bibs. Jason, Jawan, Rizzo, and Nate voted for Matt. And Sophie and Savannah voted for Jason. That must have been most likely because of the fear of the shot in the dark, because Jason did mention his. So they could have been like maybe thinking, what if they're conspiring? One of them's going to play a shot in the dark. What would happen if they both played it? Could they have both have been safe? I actually don't know. I don't know if I haven't seen a season where they've played both yet. But I haven't watched all the New Era seasons. I'm sure I'm not missing too much. But yeah. Well, I mean, I know it's only been actually successful like twice. And those I have seen, so. Yeah, this was like a pretty more of a straightforward vote. I think probably would have more of a toss, maybe more of a mix if it had gone down with Kella, because I think Hina voted split just for the strategy of somebody play the shot in the dark. I think Kella would have been actually split. I could see some voting for Sage to stay over Shannon, some voting over Shannon. Like, Steven would probably keep Sage over Shannon. Christina would keep Shannon. MC and Sophie S, I don't know. MC maybe more towards Shannon, but Sophie and Alex? Who knows? I could vote about Alex. Who the hell knows? I think that's definitely more of a toss-up. This one was pretty, to the point. Like, we know. It was still good. It was, don't get me wrong. I think it was probably the better ones of the season. But still pretty good. Now, I'm trying to think. I want to talk a little bit more about tribal as well. When they were doing their discussions, I keep covering I'm so sorry. I'm like doing this. I'm like, forgetting covers my face because I'm like in La La Land. It is interesting that Savannah was like, I'm gonna vote for somebody, like, this person is more open to work with me versus this person who seems kind of strong. Jason, like I said, bit him in the ass to be like, I love Hina, I love them. I'm like, don't do that. No, stop. Lie. Even if you believe that, lie. Don't tell them the truth. These people, they just like don't know when they need to lie. Just lie. Lie till you make it to merge, at least, and then you'll have your numbers back. You have to get through this. Lie. Just say, yeah, I'll vote out Matt. If they come to you and they're like, we're gonna vote out you, be like, what about somebody on the outs? What about Sophie or Jawan? Fucking, I don't know if he knows Jawan was on the outs with them. But I think maybe they would have kept him if he was like an asset on the puzzles. But like, I don't know. But I guess they would have won then. But I don't know. And then, Matt was like, I didn't throw anybody under the bus. And he was like, put my name out. And he's like, well, I didn't really do that. I didn't throw him under the bus. He's like, you said anybody but me. And he's like, well, that's not really under the bus, is it? And I'm like, a little bit. Not direct. It's like a minor under the bus. It's not like fully being like, I think we should vote Jason out. I mean, he did say we should vote out Sophie. So he kind of puts the bus over Sophie. But like, Jason, not as much. He's like, anybody but me. He's like, still, that's the bus over him. Well. That's how we talk about Sandra. Karma. But yeah, interesting episode. I am glad that we got a bit of a shakeup with the new tribes. I think this is going to be interesting in the coming weeks, especially with the little, showing for next episode. Seems to be, a little... Things are starting to get a little more divided with Sage and Shannon, so I think that'll be interesting. Because I think if they're split, they may be able to pull in different sides of the Hina tribe and of the old Hina, excuse me, obviously. And I wonder if it's Shannon versus Sage, Who would get Alex in that situation? That is actually interesting. I wonder who. Because obviously, I think Sage has Steven, Shannon has Christina. Sophie's a little more of a toss-up. MC may lean towards Shannon. So I think if Sage can pull in Alex, I think that'd be good for her. And maybe try to put in the work with MC or Sophie. If she is trying to go after Shannon. And because Shannon is like, maybe we should get Sage out. I'm like, I mean, that's what you're supposed to do, honestly. When you're in the minor, like, listen. If we don't have an advantage, we don't have a way to save ourselves. If it's me and you, it's gonna be you. It's not gonna be me. So you gotta save yourself however way you can. If you gotta throw your partner, teammate, tribe mate, whoever the fuck under the bus, do it. Get far is the goal. Not get some friends and get voted out because I don't want to betray them. No, thank you. Not for $1 million. Hope people understand that. Sorry. We can be friends later. Right now I need my $1 million. Pretty straightforward. Now. Yeah, I'm just interested to see where this goes with the new tribes. I mean, you look at it on paper, it seems straightforward. Also, MC doesn't have... I mean, she can't get her idol until they lose. I'm glad they made that, by the way, to be where they can get it on any beach. I was worried about that last episode. I've said it in the last video. I'm like, if they're not on their beaches anymore, how are they going to get it? But I'm glad they clarified, like, you can get it on any beach, whatever camp you end up on. And according to Jeff Probst, at the tribe swap, they were always going to tribe swap at 14 regardless. They just sped it up because Jake was medevaced. Which is interesting. I wonder if that means they're going to be doing that for 50 as well. But, well, it was a thing we had to vote on for 50. The tribe swap or not. Which obviously, tribe swap plays. So maybe they'll do the same. Maybe they'll switch at 14 as well. And we'll get 2 tribes. That'd be fun. That'd be really, really fun. I'm thinking it's like as if 50 hasn't even 50 isn't even playing for months. I don't know. I just think it's fun to shake things up. I love a shake up. But yeah. Very, very interesting. I don't know. We'll see where this goes. Now. I guess maybe that's kind of all I have. Let's make sure. Is that everything I gotta say? I'm reading my notes as if I'm like, have I talked about everything I want to talk about? Because, with ADHD, you truly just forget everything sometimes. And I'll be like, I'll turn it off and I'll be like, oh, I didn't talk about this. I do it all the time. I'm like, oh, I fucking forgot. Let's see. Did I? Yeah. Right. Oh, random thing. I don't know. Kele found Sophie's shoe. The end. Wrap it up. Biggest moment of them. I'm just like one thing. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I didn't mention that. Whatever. But yeah, super interesting episode. We got new tribes, interesting dynamics. I think, like I said, new Kele will definitely be more of a shakeup, more I guess dynamics and movement there than at the new Hina. The new Hina seems pretty locked in where they're gonna be. But yeah, I am definitely interested to see more of new Kele and how those dynamics shift, because they seem, like I said, more fluid. Obviously, we'll see that more next episode, hopefully. Now, that's kind of all I have to talk about episode 4. Now, obviously, just to quickly touch on this, obviously this is late. I got a new computer over the weekend. That slightly delayed me. I apologize. The plan originally was to set this bad boy up Saturday. I hope you can hear me tapping on that. And then record yesterday. Didn't happen. I didn't set this up till yesterday, and it took me a bit. But because I'm a shocker, I'm not good with computers. Not the most tech-savvy girly you've ever seen. So it took me a hot minute to figure out how to actually put this shit together. And get this is a gaming PC. They have foam in, I take the glass off of this thing. The foam is wrapped around all these parts in there. I'm like, oh my god. But yeah, we got it. We're set up. We're good to go. So, Survivor 49, obviously episode 5 this week will be coming out on Friday. We also have Guts and Glory, this Thursday, episode 3. Episode 1 and 2 were fun. I think the episodes, we're just starting out. And then we're going to have some fun. It's really exciting. Something, fun for Halloween. And The Amazing Race 38. Episode 5 will be out on Sunday. Now, I know. Episodes 3 and 4. They're going to be combined into one video. And they're coming out tomorrow. And I say that all the time. Tomorrow. And it never happens. It's tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow. So look out for that. I'm just combining both of them into one. And I'm probably doing 2 episodes. So we're combining into one. Because honestly, episode 3, I don't have as much to say about. I have a lot more to say about episode 4. So I'm like, you know what? Just combine them, because why do one short one and one like longer one? Just one. So yeah. So look forward to it. So busy week. So Survivor today. Survivor episode 4 today. Amazing Race 38 episodes 3 and 4 tomorrow. Thursday will be Guts and Glory episode 3. Friday will be Survivor 49 episode 5. And Sunday will be The Amazing Race 38 episode 5 as well. So yeah, that's kind of all I got for you today. So if you like, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts about the new tribes, what, we could be saying from them with their new dynamics. How do you think they're going to do in challenges going forward? Will Caleb still be bad at puzzles? Can they redeem themselves with a puzzle? And if you want, not forcing you. If you want to subscribe, you can. Check out my other videos. I have, past videos. If you want to relive the glory days of Big Brother 27, knock yourself out. I'm good. You can catch up on, my past coverage as well of Survivor 49. What am I talking about? I do this all the time to myself. I say this wrong all the time. I keep saying 48 for Survivor and then 39 for the Amazing Race. Survivor 49. You can check out the old videos and as well as my past coverage for the past couple episodes of The Amazing Race 38. I should get like a fucking teleprompter at this point. I should literally get a teleprompter and maybe I'll get my shit together. But yeah, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing y'all in the next video. All right. Bye.